Hello YouTube, this is Amanjuman, and in this video tutorial I'm going to show you how to set up a VPN server on Amazon VPC so that you can connect your all private infrastructure using VPN or tunneling the VPN. The reason we set up the VPN connection over the VPC, some people use to bypass their network restriction so that they can utilize the Amazon IP address to unblock the U restriction content, and some people for business purposes or for some IT companies, they actually use VPN to connect their private infrastructure which is hosted on a cloud. So because people nowadays use private cloud so that their application have no public access from outside. So in here I simulate this such kind of service in here. So I have one application server which have only private IP address, no public IP address, which means I can't only access if I have physical access to Amazon facilities, or I made any connection with VPN. I made any public internet connection with with their facility, so I can access my VPC. So which means I have to uh, set up the set up the VPC with the Amazon Amazon on-site. So here our VPC I have, this one is our VPC right now, and you can see that the VPC, this is the VPC ID 04E, the last three digit. This is the last three 04E. So both of our instance are hosted on this one VPC that actually we have set up earlier. So we're gonna set up a VPN server in here, and instead of we could have set up the VPN server in here too, site to site VPN server. But you know that creating each of the connection and username and password from AWS panel is little bit complicated for those who actually don't know much about the Amazon, how VPC works. So the reason we set up the VPN over interface over instance, because we gonna use GUI based VPN, which means we're gonna use SoftEther, so we can easily manage and create user uh, from our PC instead of making VPN in here. So let's get started. As I have earlier in my video in my channel, I have created a VPN server using SoftEther. You could check this video. So by this process, we're gonna set up a VPN server in here. So we have already a VPN server configured in this instance. Okay, so we're gonna just configure that VPN server right now. I'm gonna put the link in description where uh, we can set up the VPN server video VPN server. The video tutorial will be linked in description. Okay, so let's go to our terminal of VPN server. So let's go started service VPN server start. We're gonna set up the ID password of VPN server. So VPN CMD 1, enter. We're gonna set the password of VPN server manager. Okay, exit. So that's gonna copy the server IP address. Here I have the VPN server manager software installed, so I can manage it from remotely instead of terminal. So create new settings. Gonna put my IP address. Oh, make sure you have firewall open for this instance. So for easy demonstration, I have opened all ports of this interface. Sorry, this instance. So this is not recommended, but you can open only certain ports based on whatever you needed. The standard ports are 555, and 992 and 443 and 1194 TCP. So I have opened all ports for here, as I said earlier. So I'm gonna select 5555 SoftEther VPN port and password, which I have set earlier. Let's connect. You can see the setup mode in first. Whenever you connect the VPN server first time, it will be push you a setup mode. So we're gonna click remote access and site to site VPN on bridge, and you could just uncheck this one, but recommend to use this one in case you guys needed physical access, I mean the public IP address access to browse any site. So then we're gonna click on VPN server that accept connection from other sites. So this server will be sites, and the VPN server will be the location where it accept the sites. Press next. Yes. And let's give the VPN server name whatever you can, but I'm gonna give the server name as AP Southeast 1 because I'm using Singapore location. So for my easy accessibility, so I'm gonna set this one. Okay, and let's ignore this one, exit, and enable L2TP and L2TP raw function, because we need this function because some guys might need to access from Mac or iOS based operating system. That operating system doesn't support SoftEther client mostly, so you could just use L2TP function so you can easily connect, and you can set your VPN server pre-shared key. So I'm gonna keep that one VPN, no problem. Okay, and let's just disable the VPN Azure because we have a firewall opened. So press OK and create user. Let's create a user, say Aman, and password. Let's gonna create a password. Set policy. I'm gonna set policy TC number of maximum TCP connection 32. So it will let me transfer lots of bandwidth at a time, or lots of packet at a time. Press OK. Exit. So most important part is set local bridge. We're gonna use Ethernet 0. Close. Okay. The reason we use bridge function, we're gonna utilize actually soft Ethernet secure net function instead of custom use DHCP function. So because this is the reason, because people are not actually coded expert, so they actually can enable it from GUI. So here we're gonna go and manage virtual hub, virtual net, and DHCP. We're gonna enable secure net and OK. And secure net configuration, let's say three. Okay, let's go set and 30. Let's add it 101. Let's set it 200, no problem. And 301. And let's set DNS server IP address as it is. And let's add 1.1.1 as a Cloudflare IP address and press OK. Exit, exit, exit. So we have the server ready. So we're gonna go and VPN client. We're gonna copy the public IP address of our VPN server. Oh, we're gonna restart our VPN server restart. Okay. So we have VPN server restart. We're gonna add VPN client. Port is username Aman, password Aman. So in advance, we're gonna select number of connection 32 and press OK and press OK. So if we connect, we're gonna connect our server. You might get kicked if you use VPS server. If you use VPS server as a VPN site, that case you have to adjust the properties, uh, VPN properties as a no adjustment routing of table. But this is for only if you use VPN connection from a VPS server. So make sure you have this instruction set. So in here we're gonna clear, we're gonna check IP config. We can see that. So now in here we can see the private IP address. This one is our private IP address. The Nginx server is hosted on this application. So we're gonna browse this IP address. Let's say open Chrome and enter. It would take a couple of minutes for first time. And in meantime, we could check the IP address we get, whatever we got, the public IP address. Oh, you can see the site is comes up. So this is our private application hosted on. Okay, so you might asking might have question that if we have internet access or not. So let's go google.com. We can see we have internet access, and if we check the IP address, we can see this is the Amazon IP address. Okay, so if we disconnect, okay, we have offline now, and if you refresh, we can see that this is Google Cloud IP address. And if we try to refresh the site, we're not able to connect it because we disconnect the VPN. So this is only case one, but you can see that you guys might have using root 53. So the root 53 because you guys might using a domain name instead of remembering the IP address. So that case, what we gonna do? So let's create a hosted zone in here. Let's gonna use a domain name. Let's say example.com. You can see this domain is hosted on the IP address whatever publicly hosted on. So here in root 53 we're gonna create a host zone. Let's say example.com, comment example.com. Type is private. We're gonna set for private VPC, and the VPC ID we're using this one, Singapore SGP, and create. And let's create a record is a record, and let's give the name is server. Subdomain name is server.example.com, and the IP address we're gonna set our private IP address of application and enter in here, create. Okay, so we have our VPC the root 53 zone created. So let's go and connect our VPN client. Sorry, we don't need that. So let's connect it. Okay, so we test our private IP address first, see if this still able to accessible or not. It should be okay. It's still able to accessible, but now we're gonna check server.example.com. We're not able to access server.example.com because we haven't set up the correct DNS. Okay, it's still able to accessible, but you're not able to access the server.example.com for some case if you change the gateway IP address. So what we're gonna have to do is in such case we have to go server manager again, connect, and virtual hub, DHCP, secure net. In DNS server, we have to set the VPC DNS server. So what is our VPC DNS server? So in VPC, we using this one, right? So this one is the network address, and this one, the number. This one would be 172.31.0.1 would be the uh, network address of this VPC, and usually the second address is the DNS server of a VPC. So this should be our VPC DNS IP address. But if you have this VPC, what would gonna be our DNS IP address? It would be number 2. I mean 172.26.16.2. But if you like to make sure what is the DNS IP address, then we have to go in here. That's clear. And you name a, we can see this is actually a Ubuntu 18.04. So to check the DNS IP address, cat you have to input cat etc resolve config. Here you're able to see DNS IP address. So here you're not able to see, but if you are in Ubuntu 16.04, you're able to see the IP address. But for 18.04, we're gonna use this command system resolve status. So copy and enter it. You're able to see the DNS IP address. So we're gonna copy this and put this here, and eventually you can set up this one root n, so you can see the gateway of your server. So this is actually you should put in here. Okay, exit, exit, exit. We're gonna restart our VPN server service VPN server restart. So our server VPN server is started. So we're gonna disconnect and reconnect our VPN server now. Connect it back, and we're gonna check here, refresh. We should still able to access the custom VPC hosted route 53 zone. In case if you're not able to connect this, that case just ipconfig slash DNS. You can see server.example.com. You might fail the DNS request, but it should take some times to comes up. So this is how you're gonna configure your VPC to access your custom hosted route 53 zone. So that's all about our video tutorial for today. Thanks for watching this video.